Hey, how's it going? Welcome to Newsac, Friday, 6th of August 2021. We're looking front of papers. First up, New York Times, two stories over on the left about Cuomo. Picture here in the middle of South Africa, rising food insecurity because of the pandemic. Over on the right, Biden shifting America to electric cars. Down the bottom, Japanese tears and apologies over shameful silver medals. Bit of a stereotype, but the Japanese athletes, when they win silver, keep coming out and saying sorry to the nation for not winning gold. Down here, workplaces struggling to convince people to vaccinate, offering them $1,000. New York Times International Edition, picture in the middle from Lebanon. Over on the left, opinion piece about CDC. Over on the right, story about repealing presidential war powers. Some of the Republicans are in favour of it, believe it or not. Down here, there's that Belarusian sprinter heading off for Poland. Best of luck. USA Today, Lollapalooza. They're worried about it being a super spreader event. I can see why. Story about Cuomo on the right. Down here, people relocating to places where there's no wildfires. National Post from Canada, Olympics, vaccine passport. Over on the left, nation split over state of free speech. Half blame social media. Sounds like standard nonsense conservative talking point. The Star, Ramaphosa recycles rot. This is in South Africa. Massive reshuffle in the wake of all the unrest that happened. They call it an attempted insurrection. I'm not sure if it is because I just don't know enough about it, but 330 people died. A lot of infrastructure and businesses were damaged. Part of this reshuffle, they said that the state security ministry will be abolished and oversight of intelligence placed directly with the presidency, which sounds like one step on the road to dictatorship. Jerusalem Post, Bennett, holidays, Hezbollah, something about Bibi. Down the bottom, cabinet set to approve President Herzog's brother Mike as ambassador to the US. This man, Mike Herzog, his grandfather was a man called Yitzhak Halevi Herzog, who at one stage was the chief rabbi of all of Ireland between 1922 and 1936, so quite a formative time for the Irish Republic. But he supported the IRA during the Irish War of Independence, and he became known as the Sinn Féin rabbi. He spoke fluent Irish, and he was also a supporter of Irgun, which was a Zionist paramilitary organisation who committed acts of terrorism and assassination against the British, who they regarded as illegal occupiers. They were also violently anti-Arab. So best of luck, Mike Herzog. Global Times, China winning at the table tennis. Over on the right, PLA holds large drills amid military threats. That's in the South China Sea. PLA, People's Liberation Army, that's the Chinese army. Down here, China to provide 2 billion doses of vaccines to the world through COVAX. Thanks, lads. Australian, Delta, Olympics. Special appearance today from Vecernici List. This is from Croatia. This man here, Miroslav Skoro, was the head of the Homeland Movement. He ran for mayor of Zagreb, but lost by a massive margin to a coalition consisting of small left-green parties. He's now abruptly resigned as party president, so all in disarray. Love to see it. Best of luck to the new mayor, who is Tomislav Tomasevic. Irish Examiner, true crime, Ryanair calling out about they might have to pull out of Cork Airport. Surge in Special Criminal Court gang cases. Special Criminal Court, that's a court that doesn't have a jury. It's been criticised by the likes of Amnesty International, but it still runs anyway. Photo of TD serving pints indoors before rules change. Okay, I think we'll see that photo in a minute. Irish Times, true crime, Olympics. Ministers push for resumption of church ceremonies. So it was church v state, and it seems the church are winning. Well done. Something down there about staff being criticised the central bank over meeting up when there was restrictions. Irish Independent, Olympics, true crime. Backlash from pubs after Attorney General's advice on big events. Yeah, people are getting annoyed because now they've turned around and said, yeah, you were allowed to have 200 people for the last month, but they didn't tell anybody. So people are rightly annoyed that they've lost out on a lot of revenue. Irish Daily Mail, there's that picture there looking well. It's a wedding. They must all be related. That's the only thing I can think of because they're massive families down there in that part of the world. I'm sure nothing will happen because of this, but it's a nice photo to have on the front of the Irish Daily Mail. Same true crime story from the other papers. Irish Sun, Olympics, true crime story. Financial Times, there's a man fighting fires in Turkey. Supposedly Turkey are one of the only people to not have ratified the Paris Agreement. And now they're suffering from wildfires, so there you have it. Bank of England signals modest tightening and hawkish shift over inflation. Yeah, they're having a problem keeping inflation down because it's getting a bit out of hand. Over on the right here, I'm not sure if you can see it, but it says Starmer urges embrace of Blair's legacy. Oh, makes me want to retch. Apple's plan to scan iPhones for images of abuse sparks fears of mass surveillance. Well, I mean, mass surveillance has anyway been happening. I guess the worry here is that they'll put an algorithm over it, and if you take a picture of your child on a beach with no t-shirt on, then you'll get flagged and a SWAT team will come to your house and arrest you for having child porn. The Guardian, Olympics, extra cash for medical schools, alright, live events insurance, okay. Experts see scary signs of Gulf Stream collapse. Maybe someone can tell me about this. Apparently it's kind of flawed, the article, and it doesn't really deal with some of the facts, but still worrying, I guess. I don't know enough about it. The Times, backlash after Prime Minister says Thatcher pit closures were eco-friendly. Boris must have known this and caused a bit of a kerfuffle or whatever, saying that Thatcher closed down the coal mines and that was a step in the right direction for climate change. And the thing is, me and you both know this is nonsense, but people will internalize this and say, oh yeah, Thatcher was good, she did that. Just remember, Thatcher closed the mines because imported coal was cheaper. She wanted to break the unions. She forced the miners' strike by closing down the pits, and then once that was all over and they were defeated, that broke the back of one of the important pillars of the labour movement. She also opened up the UK to foreign competition and foreign investment, thereby demolishing much of traditional British industry in the 1980s, like the steel industry and shipbuilding. Thanks, Maggie. Picture of some refugees coming over the channel. People on the move near Dover. 1,000 people arrived in 2 days, so it's setting new records. Something about jabs, something about nude men walking in Sherwood Forest, fair play. Daily Telegraph, that woman there is the daughter of Bruce Springsteen or something. She's doing show jumping for the Yanks. What else have we got here? Over on the left, you'd eat woods, vaccines for kids, every parent's dilemma. Is it? Any parents I know are just going to get their kids jabbed. Doesn't seem to be a dilemma. Down the bottom, Fraser Nelson banging on about vaccine passports. Next up, The Independent, lovely big Union Jack this morning, Team GB. Up the top, something about work. Diane Abbott, the ignored lessons of the 2011 riots. Yeah, it's 10 years since the London riots. Diane Abbott is a bit of a legend. She criticised the Union's population of Northern Ireland as an enclave of white supremacist ideology comparable to white settlers in Zimbabwe. She said, "Ireland is our struggle. Every defeat of the British state is a victory for all of us." Thank you, Diane. Mary Jachewski, something about Afghanistan, something about football. Over 30,000 children suffering long COVID. Wow. Wasn't aware of that. That sounds pretty nasty statistic. Daily Express. Tragic legacy of Afghanistan. What was the point of our boys' deaths? The point of your boys' deaths was to give a boost to the defence industry and blow Afghanistan back to the dark ages so that British and American contractors could rebuild the place. Simple. Something about the Olympics there as well. Daily Mirror, celebs. Boris Johnson talking about the pits again story. Daily Mail, how to think yourself sexy. I guess everything does start in the mind. Remember that, folks. If you think it, it can happen. The height of hypocrisy, this is something about the climate minister jetting around the world to red list countries or something during the pandemic. Metro, something about football, hokey cokey travel chaos. £3 for 8 bottles of Lucozade at Iceland. Whoa, I'd love to have access to that. If someone wants to post me some Lucozade, please get in contact. Alright, that's it for the day and the week. Thank you for stopping in. Look after yourself. If you want to stay off corporate or state media, just click the link in the description. Alright, thanks. Good luck.